Here we go. Now I added myself to the stage. Oh my gosh, at least I did it within a few seconds. Instead of a bunch of minutes. This is my second attempt on part 3 to get this together. Okay, handled puppy. And let's get started. Are you guys ready? Are you guys ready to rock and roll? I am. I'm so excited about going through this information. You guys, I'm incredibly excited about the Hatman stuff. We're going to be looking at all kinds of details, testimonies, other accounts, for sure. Holy crap. I don't know if the universe even wants me to do this broadcast. You guys, with all the interruptions getting started, like it just completely not being able to hear me. Oh, I think puppy's settling down. Okay, let's get started. Lots of information to go through. You guys, just let's have some fun. Okay. So we're looking at the Stargate as the CIA's spy war. We're going to distinguish between the facts, declassified stuff, confirmed paperwork exists, or what's like a claim or a story, which is reported or repeated but not proven. Speculation, theories, and viral ideas, and your personal voice, thoughts, and intuition. So, see where this goes. I think we're gonna okay. Stargate, the U.S. government program, because we've got some declassified documents going on here. So this is not going to be an episode about like everything is true, because we're looking through paperwork in the third dimension. What is declassified? What's claimed? What went viral? What's false or exaggerated? And what still feels unanswered? And as always, don't take my word for this. Do your own research. I could be making this all up. So by the end of the show, you might ask yourself, what if human consciousness was always a tool? We just forgot. Well, in looking at human consciousness being consciousness bubbles, and you can't push or pull them, I don't think we're talking about awareness again. What if human awareness was always a tool? And we just forgot. And then, well, since we forgot, now it's a tool. Let's learn the tool and use the tool. Or we can look from the God bubble perspective of I created all of this, including these tools. It has no power over me. That's my fave. So before we look into this information, because I don't want to go fear mongering, my point in all of this is for us to heal ultimately. And sometimes that means remembering stuff. Because if we're sitting there, it's like, what do I not remember? That's all we're doing. That's all we're creating. So I want this to be a healing experience, and please give me feedback. So let's breathe, because this is going to get into like a little weird zone. Hi Shay. Hey Ken. Disclosure with Kelly and Jillian. Yo, what am I disclosing, you guys? What am I disclosing? Hey, go look at my other video intro. I thought it was cool, for a third grade project. It's not bad. Right. Let me see if I'm in the right place. Yes, I am. Right here. So the Stargate program, like crap. You got a lot going on here. Gateway to Stargate. So you've got gate in the schools. We talked about that in depth. A lot of I'm curious as to how many gate kids experience the Hat Man. And when I started to do the research on what are the ages that they were visited, because I'm like, if this is about kids, like Stranger Things, We got Vecna going on. We got Mr. What's It. So if these are kids, in my experience, they call it, when were you last visited? Yeah, when I was 33. I was last visited when I was 33. And when I started to research, more of them were as kids, in short periods of time as kids, they were visited. But there was another account. That's what freaked me out. There was another account. They were last visited when they were 33 by the Hat Man. I was like, no, okay, there's got to be something to this. What is this? So, yeah, that is coming up. The answers to that, or at least more confusing topics, coming up. So when we look at fact declassified, Project Stargate, what it really was. Stargate, the final name of a U.S. government remote viewing program. Whoa. It didn't start with that name, though. It moved through multiple code names like Grill, Flame, Center Lane, and Sunstreak. And it eventually went to Stargate. It's interesting, isn't it? Sunstreak. Center Lane, Grill, Flame, Grill. Remote viewing, perceiving a target without normal senses, like a definition, such as a location, an object, a person, a facility, a coordinate. So this was enough of a concern to the government in my research that there's funding for it, there's staff, there's reports, there's oversight, and termination. Although my opinion, inserting my opinion, I don't think they ever really terminate, or they just keep doing the same thing by another name. That's why they terminated that name. My opinion. Let's see. So this program, why did it last so long? Let's look at it. Why it existed at all. The Cold War pressure. So we'll look at what's labeled as fact. Again, you make up your own mind at the end of the day. None of my business. But fact is context. The Cold War era created an obsession with we can't fall behind. If the enemy has something real or not, America tests it. So this is the concept, you guys, about what was happening. So that's how the government thinks. We don't need to believe it. We need to know if it's usable. So I didn't care if they believed it or not. I was like, can I use it? Can I turn it into a weapon? Cold War paranoia is normal. And someone says, what if the mind can spy? Now, is this really what was going on? I'm just interjecting into these facts. You guys know who you are. Who were they targeting? And what were they capable of doing? What are you guys capable of doing? I know a lot of you are here because you feel like you are a target in all of this. Yeah. Like scary. Look, I know. What's up with that, Shay? The men in black really like scaring those kids. Little fuckers. So, remote viewing session, a basic flow. Now, this is what I term as white light push-pull system style remote viewing. You're stuck in the matrix and you are manipulating things in the matrix. Thinking the matrix is real from the avatar position, you're remote viewing. When I teach remote viewing, I teach the God bubble perspective. You created everything, including the first potential field. That's a big deal, you guys. Like, good job. That's a big deal, though. So when we look at what is on the internet, as far as this is what is considered remote viewing and what the government was working with, you will see with some interjections. I'll be clear when I interject. Like, this is my opinion and why it's not working. So let's see, the viewer, a viewer, what is that? Your God. They get a number, a code, or coordinates. This sounds like Monroe Institute level stuff. And these are the ones that in my sessions, I help in the letting go process. They describe impressions. And this part of my remote viewing class is using these type of things in the process of remote viewing. The difference is I remote view from the God bubble point of view, and the other type is Monroe Institute stuck in the matrix. Shapes, textures, temperature, structure, movement, the feel of the place. What's the emotions you feel? The official way of doing it, Monroe Institute style. They don't know the target. It's like a blind target. Here's the part that matters. It's not always clear pictures. Sometimes it's fragments. These are some of the things I teach. And that's why I tell you guys, whatever you see, it's like if there's 10 things to see and you see one, we're going to celebrate that one. We're not concerned about the other 9. It's just programs that tell you, oh, you're such a failure because you didn't get all 10. So when I teach remote viewing, I teach in a way that it's so much fun. And people are so amazed at how much they already know, but they weren't really looking at it from that perspective. See, it's a fragment. It's like a dream or memory that isn't yours. Have you ever had a dream so real it felt like you visited somewhere? You guys and all this Schumann resonance pinata stuff going on. Holy crap. A dream, my shortest definition of a dream, is another reality bubble that you create, and you have a legitimate, real experience inside of this. And then you come back to the third dimension. You keep being drawn back to the third dimension. See, everything in front of you, I'm just adding this, everything in front of you, you have to create from scratch. I'll make this simple. It's faster than this. It's like nanoseconds and stuff. But every second is created in the moment. And that's the only thing that exists, is what is created in the moment. Is that good to know? So you come home and there's your kitchen. And there's your dirty dishes in the kitchen. Those dirty dishes didn't sit there while you were, running around having fun. You created those dishes unwashed from scratch. You didn't create the dishes in the cabinet and then eating the tasty meal and then putting them in the kitchen as if you have a maid to clean up after you. Like that doesn't happen in the moment. Those are ideas of the scenario and the plot line surrounding you creating dirty dishes in your sink right now. Hey, this is good news for healing. Good news for healing, knowing that you have to create your body unhealed right now. You have to actually put forth effort and energy to create an unhealed body. I told you it's going to be good news day. Whew. Isn't that good to know? Okay, back to remote viewing. The results, hits versus misses. We'll see how the Monroe Institute way sums it up. You guys, this is research that I've done on this. So sit back, get a snack, get something to drink. Let me know what it is, if it's okay to say on YouTube. Well, let's keep it to yourself. Here's why, where people get emotional. Because a lot of people want it to be 100% true or 100% fake. And the Monroe Institute comes in and takes someone who is 100% accurate, and through their really good training program, they take them down to 70% accurate. Is that helpful to know that? That if it's like, oh my gosh, either I'm not going to, I don't want to, I can't afford it, or for whatever reason, you're not going to do those courses, and you're like, oh, I'm not going to be as good as all those other people. No, they went to school and paid people to limit them. Like, holy crap. You guys are in a good place. Oh, I've got 45 minutes, so let's go. But in evaluating this, that does make sense that you look at it as 100% or not, and because 100% are not really allowed out there and to become famous and everything, only the 70%ers. That every now and then they make a flub up that's like really bad. It's oh, this person unalived in a certain way. And then I can't communicate with them like an unalived person. Like when I try to contact them, or I'm sorry, I don't know the magic words. Like, hey, person who's not alive anymore, what happened? Or whatever we talk about, none of your business. Anyway, that happened, and it's like, oh, wait a minute, they're not in that unalive place. You guys. And then someone comes in and it's like, oh, they're in the unalive place, and this is what they're saying, this is what they're thinking and feeling and expressing to everyone. And I'm like, I don't think they're unalive. I think they're on an island somewhere. They are 3,000 years old, because that's what I was feeling from it. So, whatever. So, people claimed there were sessions that felt accurate. People involved have told stories publicly over the years. So this is just putting out what we can find in research. The misses. Fact, criticism exists. Reviews said it wasn't reliable enough for intelligence work. This just pertains to the government, you guys, not like, what I show you or I work with you. So, and it's not consistent, they said. And I see that okay, we'll get started on that. It's like, if you drink pink stuff all the damn time, you're not going to be 100% accurate. That's true. Calcification. So, you it really feels like this. So I got repositioned my pillows behind my back. That's better. If something works 10% of the time, does the government call it a success or a failure? Ooh, these are good questions. Hey, what do you guys think? If one session was correct, does that change reality forever? Put your opinions in there. Like, you guys probably are remote viewers anyway. But it's like, hey, if you could do something one time, because there was a time when all this started before YouTube. I'm sorry, I just started to do YouTube, and I'm like, something's not right, because I was doing the church thing. Then I'm like, you guys are all corrupt, and then I left the church, and then it's like, well, I don't know what's going on. I think something intelligent's going on with this, and then I challenged the sky, and I'm like, what is this? Or I don't know what is real, because I was like an atheist for like 6 months or so when I left the church, because I was just being mad. Like, I was more like a fuck you God than an atheist. But I'm like, then I was like, I don't know what to believe. So I go outside, and I don't know what I was yelling at, but I was yelling to the sky. And I'm like, are you real? If you are real, I had a little bit to say before I said that, but if you're real, show me. Man, I was mad. This straight line wind came across not anybody else's property, just mine. And the tree, thank goodness it was a nice strong tree, not too old. It hit that tree with such force, it was leaning sideways. And that went on for a bit. Well, all this was like under a minute. But that went on for a while. A big chunk of that 1 minute was wind blowing that tree sideways. And I'm standing there looking at it. My eyes are huge. Like someone who just got back from Schwar, what their eyes look like. I'm sure that's what I look like. They were wide open, like, what just happened? What just happened? And so I just, I went back inside the house for a while, like, maybe that was a fluke. maybe it was a fluke. And it was just some weird wind out of nowhere that affected nobody's tree in my whole neighborhood but mine. Bending my tree sideways with such force for seconds, or I don't know, what, 20, 30 seconds. And then it was done. So I went back inside and tried to rearrange all kinds of stuff in my mind of what reality is now. Like, that was a hard pill to take, what had just happened. So then I went back out there and I said, okay, I'm not sure what happened, but if you are real, do it again as a challenge. I know you guys are shocked I did that, but I challenged the sky. What I did, I had no idea what I was talking to, who I was talking to, yelling at the sky outside. Hoping my neighbors didn't hear me. So I'm yelling at the sky. If you're real, what is you? I didn't even know. If you're real, do it again. And it did. But this time it was more ferocious and for longer. Only my tree. Only my tree. So the person inside came out and said something hit the side of the house. I said, no, nothing hit the side of the house but wind. That's how forceful the wind was when it hit the property. And it was only my property. Right? So then I started to be like, okay, maybe there is something up. But for me, it took 2 times for me to get to that place. And then after that, it was like, I'm not sure who's up there. Just, recovering Baptist at that point. And like, I'm just mad about everything. I think everybody lied to me. And everybody's like, oh, I'm so holy. And they're just the opposite. Which, it's all coming out now. So I said to the sky, whoever was up there, so I see you're up there. Something's going on up there. It looks like I might become famous on YouTube. And if I become famous on YouTube, there's no way I can do this in this condition. I'm not going to be able to do this. So you're going to have to help me. And I didn't quite know what that meant. But whatever I had to work with, my capacity had to be multiplied for me to be able to do everything that had to be done to get that show going. So that's when this white light stick came down from when I first started seeing it. It was right above the tree. And it was like in another dimension. So the light and the tree kind of existed, could exist together that way. So the light traveled just on my side in front of the trunk, going all the way down to the base. And then it was a cylinder, probably, I don't know, 8 to 10 inches wide and maybe 6 feet tall. My best guess. So it was taller than me. So it went along the grass, like horizontally. And then it became upright again behind me. And then it all together, it moved forward, and that big white light stick went into like the avatar's body, which I thought was my body at the time. And suddenly I felt still like, how do I describe this? I still feel like Kelly, but Kelly plus my capacity I don't know if you call it autism, where 90% of your brain is functioning at one time, not 10% of your brain. That's what I'm talking about, capacity. I now had the capacity to, well, obviously not to talk, but I had the capacity to take in large amounts of information and process it. Huge amounts of information. Completely off tangent and staying disorganized, but I always maintained the whole picture the whole time. In the capacity to be able to do all these things, which is, I'm going to be doing a whole lot of stuff I've never done before. No one's trained me. I didn't go through a formal education to do this. I'm self-taught. So yep, I was just saying, give me the capacity to be able to do this. Like, holy crap, there's going to be a lot to do. Oh, hi Michelle, good to see you in here. Good to see you guys. But my point was, I understand that people in general, because I know that crazy shit goes on, and I still couldn't believe it when it actually happened in the simulation. That's not real. Oh my gosh, Jillian, you're telling me something and I'm missing it. Hold on, go back. We go back. Back. Spin and Black are really scary little kids. See, another name for the GATE program. Oh, thank you. Our school was called the Target program. Oh, Melinda, thank you for sharing. Hey, Jillian, success. I mean, that's a cool word to just randomly put up there, but I'm not sure why you put it up there. What happened? I apologize. I don't. What was? It's just like one word, and my mind goes into a billion places, and it's like, oh, then had an NDE. Oh my gosh, Jillian, it's not you, it's me. My mind goes into too many places to figure that out. I can lead everyone. The CEO. Let's get back. The program was terminated and declassified in 1995. How convenient, right? So here's why they basically concluded it. Not enough proof. At least that's what was put out to the public. Wouldn't you do that? Okay, this is my opinion. I'm interjecting. Be careful. Uh, Not operationally useful. Mm-hmm. Psychic Bob, I believe, is a part of that program. Like physically, not like taken at night, Hat Man kind of thing. I think that's what they were doing. They were taking us, going on missions, and like time regressing, putting us back where we were. I think they were doing a whole lot of that. I think they were using us as portals. Because you guys, we're all portals. Everybody is, but we that are not able to be programmed type portals. Possibly did they take us at night to use this at night? Mm. Even in critical reviews, there's always that uncomfortable line. Some results were statistically interesting, but the mechanism is unclear. Audience questions: if something doesn't fit science yet, does it mean it's impossible? When I researched science, this is what I found. Science is the study of the known physical world. The definition that I found when I looked it up. There's probably more definition. But science, the study of the known physical world. And so science doesn't cover everything. So when I saw that science only includes the physical world, it's like, well, duh. No wonder it says that something outside of science doesn't exist, because it doesn't according to science. Science is fun and it gets you so far in the process, but it is designed to only study the physical and what can be measured. So where you guys are is always right in front of what can be measured, because they are coming out all the time with, well, we couldn't measure this before because the aliens didn't give us that device yet. Well, that's not a direct quote. Oh, but now that we have the device from the aliens, now we're able to measure this thing that can't be seen. Oh, look, we use a speaker and we put sounds in this and throw sand on it or a special liquid on it. And we make patterns we didn't see before. I saw one guy take a pattern and do 3D printing on it. Took the frequency, not the frequency just on a flat piece of paper. He showed the flat piece of paper with the pattern on it. It's very beautiful. But when he took that pattern and built up the visual with the 3D printer, I mean, you could build it up anyway. It doesn't have to be a 3D printer. But he followed that pattern in like a sphere, and it created the buildings you see today in the shape that they're made. It creates structures and buildings from vibrating whatever is around. And it just forms itself through the vibration. Oh my God, that changed everything when I saw it. Because you guys, it's like, oh, this vibration produces this pattern. And you see it in two-dimensional form, flat. Think of it being a three-dimensional object. And that's what this guy did with the 3D printer. And it was cool as shit. As always, don't believe anything I say. Go do your own research. That's a fun place to go. Okay, we've got... I don't want to get too personal in the comments with you guys, because I know this could be something you don't want to talk about, but feel free to put your experiences in the comments. If it's like, you know what, I'm ready to talk about this. I don't want to feel alone anymore. And what happened to me, there's got to be someone out there that experienced the same thing that I experienced. So now we connect this back to Gateway. Okay, the CIA has a document titled Analysis and Assessment of the Gateway Process. And you guys, I read that recently. There's a lot of things I realized in doing this research that I had never read the whole document. Only parts of it and what other people said to look at. Like, I never just read this without anybody telling me what to think from beginning to end, just like the Bible. Yeah, there's lots of Bible study, isn't there? Here's this one verse. Let's just spend 3 weeks on it. What the crap? And they talk about probably anything but the verse. Really, 99% of it is just program doctrine. About Monroe Institute methods. Altered states, consciousness trading. Yep, I knew the Monroe Institute was in this with their method of remote viewing. Is limiting to 70% or less. That's why nobody believes it. And they don't believe that they could do it too. I'm not sure... you guys, I didn't do any study or remote viewing on non-player characters. But I'm not talking to non-player characters. I'm talking to you guys. And the average person that comes and watches my content has an IQ of, up to 200 or more. Love you guys. Remote viewing as intelligence. Kind of looking at it on one track. Another one is training consciousness itself. My opinion on that, you don't train consciousness at all. Your consciousness creates reality through feelings and emotions. See how that still applies when we start looking at government documents and things. It's like, this is why we're stuck in the matrix. All these programs got you stuck in the matrix and limited in your remote viewing. You have to tunnel through. For the God bubble position remote viewing, you haven't even created the first potential sphere yet, the first plasma sphere. One wonderful perspective, isn't it, while we're looking at this? Because I don't want to promote fear in looking at this, you guys. God bubble perspective in remote viewing. So you're at that 100% accuracy. So that's all it is training you to look from the avatar perspective instead of the God bubble perspective. In other words, my methods are so simple. Just every single thing, doesn't matter what it is. Well, let's look from the God bubble perspective. You guys, I make this so simple. So let's look, are these separate roads or the same road from different doors? Hmm. The Stargate feeling, the part that gets under people's skin. Here's what creeps people out. Tell me if you agree or not. This is my research I've done on it, not necessarily my opinion. This is research, so tell me if you agree or not. Stargate isn't just about spying. What do you guys think? It suggests something bigger. Possible implications or speculation. So this is just speculation. Consciousness might travel. My take on that is no, consciousness does not travel. Even in the Matrix, nothing travels. Everything stays stationary, and you build your universe around you. And it's only the illusion of you moving or walking or things moving around you. So, my opinion, that's why the government is not going to make this work properly. And another way of limiting people so that the government says, look over here, but don't look over there. I teach you to remote view where you can remote view any classified document, not only on this planet, but on other planets and other galaxies. Why? Because you're God and you created all of those. You have access to all that information. Told you it was good news day. So if there's any pushing and pulling, is what that says. Consciousness, might it travel? No, but your awareness does. Close your eyes. You're right here. Now, think about your favorite movie that you ever went to, sitting in that chair. You're in that chair, you can feel it, you can smell the popcorn and whatever's on the floor that's sticky. Ooh, you're moving your feet up and down and you can feel the stickiness. Did you travel or did you stay in the same place and have an experience? Which seemed like it was somewhere else. Everything is created from you. A good news day. So information might exist outside of the body. This again, the government looking at this from a limited perspective, science, only the study of the physical world. The mind may access data like a signal, I guess. And important, it is not proven. It's an idea when the government is looking at it. Have you ever felt watched for no reason? Have you ever known something before you knew it? This is what they are looking for. Hey, Kaylee, good to see you here. I mean, we're diving deep today. We are so diving deep. Tell me if you relate. And again, if you don't want to answer for yourselves, oh, a friend of mine. You guys only have 20 minutes left. Crap. Oh, this was going to be the last one. Let's see what I could get through. So some people say on one side, if it worked, then never admit it. Well, that was my opinion. If it didn't work, then never waste money. Mm-hmm. Uh-huh. Reality claim plus honesty. Both can be true at different times. The government tests ideas constantly, really. Most fail. I felt that one. Some are buried. Some are renamed. That's what I was suspecting about it. It just got renamed and modernized. Same thing, called by a different name. So we've got what is called a declassified fact. Stargate had multiple code names over time. The project shape shifted. It adapted. It kept trying to become useful. And that's why I looked at it. If it had different code names and now became Stargate, and it's like, oh, we ended this. No, you just renamed it. You guys, what do you think the name is? If that is true, what do you think they renamed it? What program out there resembles this that you're aware of? Oh, oh, the dangerous part when viral culture takes over. Okay, now this is what researching says is not substantiated, facts, anything. So let's go from there, see what we come up with. Everything is Stargate. Everything is secret portals. Everything is interdimensional war. I do see kind of a heaviness in that when I look out there that seems to be exaggerated and just spread, broad spread. A declassified document is not proof of paranormal power. It's proof the government studied it. Ah. So where do you guys think we're going? Believing nothing is possible, believing everything is possible. Are you kind of like in the middle? Or I'm going to look at each one and take it on its merits and make those decisions. Or I'm going to remote view, or I'm going to ask somebody else, I'm going to research. Your emotional center, what if you were the experiment? Well, that one hurt a little bit thinking about. Ouch. That one hit in the chest area. Oh, in the throat, like not talking about it. You guys, there was so much back then. It's like, is that what they called it? The silent generation, telling us not to talk about anything? So here's some speculation. The deepest fear is Stargate. The deepest fear is, what if consciousness is controllable? Again, we talked about consciousness. I believe they're talking about actual awareness from the map that I give you when we talk about this stuff. So, what if children are easier to influence? I've found, yes, absolutely. What if sensitivity isn't weakness, it's access? Ooh. Oh, you guys, that went deep. When you were little, did you feel different? Too aware, too sensitive? Did you think other people were having as hard a time as you were? Well, they were just better at masking than you were? Did you ever feel like something was in the room with you, watching you? When you never told anybody, and you're finding this podcast now, like, oh shit, I resonate with all of this. Thank you, Jelly. Looking Glass. I think didn't Looking Glass end about 2012? I don't know if it officially did, but that project Looking Glass is one of the reasons that the military came to me, for me to teach them how to remote view the future. Because they're like, how do you know how to remote view the future when we can't see this? And you guys know how. You took my class. You took my workshops. You know how. I can keep that information to myself. I teach you how to remote. In the remote viewing class, I teach you how to remote not only the future, but the past and all kinds of shit. Spy on your neighbor, wash the dishes in the kitchen if you want to. None of my business. So we're not going to fully open the door, just point it in. We can have further discussions on it. So we've got a pattern of culture and stories now. Now we went from what is documented to what is speculation. Now what's commonplace, and repeated. Culture, stories, movies, TV shows, nightmares. We have very similar nightmares, don't we? Across childhood stories, it's a reoccurring figure. And what we're going to be seeing in the future is Hat Man. And on probably the next podcast, which would be on Thursday, I'm going to probably take tomorrow off so I could do as much research and put this together, because I'm putting so much work into this Hat Man show. I'll probably come on there and forget to turn the fucking microphone on. Can one of you remind me when I start to turn my microphone on? Oh my gosh, I don't have any post-it notes or anything right now. It's in the past I've taken a post-it note, and but what happens over time is you have this beautiful, like the sun is shining, this spread of post-it notes around your computer screen, and I don't want to do that. So I will try to find another method to remember to turn my freaking microphone on. But people describing the same silhouette, the same feeling, the same nightmare fear. So I am not saying it's one thing. I don't know. I just noticed they dressed a certain way. Their skin looks a certain way. Their hat looks a certain way. And you have commonalities for this. And what are the ages? That's the research that I'm doing, is going out there as much as I could possibly find and seeing what is common. What are these similarities? Because you'll see them in movies and they will change something a little bit, like Stranger Things, the Alice in Wonderland dress. So Holly wore a dress very similar, but not the same dress. That's what I'm saying. You will find this Hat Man concept with one little adjustment. Maybe there's not a pocket watch. But when I looked at the CIA, they're dressed like, men in black, and they're dressed like the Hat Man that comes to visit you at night, too. The only difference I find, the CIA does not wear a three-piece suit and does not wear a vest. Do you remember anything like the Hat Man, you guys? Even if it's just a shadow memory or just a flicker or one dream one time. Do you remember anything about that? Because we're going to dive deep into what is the Hat Man, what are the similarities when you see it widespread over movies and TV series. This concept, whether they call it the Hat Man or not, they call it Mr. What's It, the bad skin texture, the hat, the pocket watch, or a timekeeper in some form. It could be a tablet, in another technology, a tablet instead of a pocket watch. Still a nod to those details, and researching and seeing if there are other things that are similar about these characters. They take the children, they take them to like another dimension or realm, to another place. Freddy Krueger, similar stories. That's why I started to research age. What about the age that they are, have all these experiences? Again, I found another example on the internet that is age 33. They stopped the last encounter with the men with the hats. Was 33 years old. Same with me. Whew. This is an exciting topic for me because I believe there's going to be healing. Instead of a scary story here or there, we're going to do a deep dive from head to toe. And let's do a slow, deep breathing from the God bubble perspective while we look at this. That doesn't have any power over us. But it's something cool that we created as God to play with in our sandbox. Now, here's what we know, what's labeled as fact. Stargate existed, whatever that means in a simulation. It was studied seriously enough to fund. It was reviewed and shut down. Gateway documents existed and discuss altered states and consciousness training. What we don't know. What worked quietly, what failed loudly, what got renamed. You guys. So, I didn't even get into a third of what we're going to talk about today. Was this helpful? Feedback, you guys. Was this helpful in that maybe it's not what I wanted to hear, but I'm starting to sort out a map in my mind. Just get kind of a general idea or more of a concept instead of just the cafeteria style way of doing this. The more of a picture or a map you can create in your mind, the easier it's going to be to let go of the mind and everything that you're trying to sort out. Ooh, we're talking about stealing energy. Hi, Crystal. I got at the end of this discussion. Let me go back. Ooh, you guys, just typing away in the comments. Well, I was getting all excited about Stargate over there. So let's see. Yeah, hi, Kaylee. Project Looking Glass. There's where we start. Children have the most vivid imaginations, and I think that's it does make sense. Uncomplicated brain, and because they have not been conditioned that this is one way to go. Kindergarten starts that. That's the training to shut all this down. That's a good observation. Hey, Crystal, are those classes still available? Crystal, I'm so sorry. I'm reading it now. The classes you might be referring to, let me go over there. And if I can get in the right place, that's not the right place. I apologize. The picture is going to be changing completely different direction. There we go. Let me just go to the right because I can't see these tiny little thumbnails very well. Okay, there we go. The one on Friday, people are still signing up for on Friday. And I'm so excited for that one. Oh my gosh, 20 years, get a spiral notebook and something to write with. Remember that. Or 3-ring binder. I wrote in the description. Go read the description. This starts on Friday. I've got some people who've already signed up for it. This one, we're going to be live, but unlisted. So we're going to be doing a live broadcast, but no one's really going to see it. and then I'll have it available after that. But you don't have to have your camera on or anything unless you want to. And you've got the option of, do you want to ask questions by like talking or just give information by talking? Or do you want to type it in a private comment section? You've got all these options on there as well. So just remember before you sign up for that one, we're recording it for others to see at a later time. And I felt like in this one, people aren't going to be getting like deep into, oh, this is what I'm letting go of all this stuff. It's going to be more in a planning sort of way. So I thought this one will be all right to record. So it's not putting a whole lot of people's private information out there. And I felt people would be more comfortable being on it. So the one today, you guys, that I'm going to be in there in 10 minutes, but you can still join. The first 5, 10, 15 minutes is usually getting everybody in class. It's like, oh, I had to restart my computer, which takes 5 to 10 minutes sometimes. So we're real casual at the beginning, just chit chatty. Sometimes I have to duck out for a minute or two to check my emails while we're in there for the first few minutes, just to make sure everybody gets in. Most of the time, it's just very smooth sailing. Sometimes we simply can't get someone in. Like, so frustrated. But that was today with the healing mentorship, and I've already got people signed up for that. It's a group session. So in there, you don't put any information out you don't want to. So don't think, all your personal stuff's going to get out there. It is not recorded. So, what happens in the healing mentorship class stays in the healing mentorship class. In there in a group session. Also, when we go in there as a group, it's affordable. And as a group, everybody in there that is healing, and I look at your energy and do a bunch of exercises as well in the healing mentorship, and whatever question you've got, we do that. So that's coming up in about 10 minutes. You still have time to go to thegodbubble.com and sign up for that. It should almost immediately give me an email, and I hear it ding. I cannot miss it. You guys, I cannot miss the ding for my email when you sign up. So I will send you a link, and it will be on StreamYard. Was where we're going to be meeting on StreamYard. So I'm going to go get all that set up. When I hear the ding, I will send you the StreamYard link. And we will be getting started with the mentorship class. Remember, when you go in there, it is laid back and casual. And not the point of being disruptive, obviously. I think you guys have a lot of common sense. But it's not just this formal class where you have to sit there and look amazing. You could be like, wherever you find yourself. Are you still in your robe? And it's oh no, it's like, I think the middle of the afternoon, you're still in your robe. Nobody cares. Nobody cares. Or did you go to the grocery store? It's a little distracting, but you're at the grocery store, running to pick something up or commuting. It's cool. Occasionally turn camera and your microphone off to go take care of screaming and running toddlers. It happens. Just, please turn your mic off and go take care of the screaming toddlers and then come back. We're cool like that. We're way laid back and cool like that in the healing mentorship. It's incredible to do. Oh man, let me go get ahead and get in there. Let me show this last one real quick, you guys. The remote viewing online course. I hate to show you this, and I'm not doing it this Wednesday. This Wednesday, I hadn't had anybody sign up, so I thought, let me skip this Wednesday. Um, we had a lot of people take it in a tremendous amount of progress in a really short period of time. Where I think there were two people that might have just mastered remote viewing in one of those classes. I was so excited for them. But they were like, oh my gosh, I was doing it the whole time and didn't know remote viewing. And they felt very confident and set themselves up for success in uh, how to know whether they're actually seeing something or all of their programs start running. Very specific when we do the exercises so that you know and you have confidence that you're actually remote viewing. Everything's remote viewing. But when does a program start to kick in? Isn't that good to know? And then we practice in that capacity. That's on Wednesday again, not this Wednesday. So if you sign up, it's going to be next week, Wednesday next week. And I'll be excited to see you there. Again, I'll see you guys in this healing mentorship in about 5 minutes or so. We go get ready for that. Still sign up. And again, get prepped and ready for the next 20 years, which in an 80-year cycle is supposed to be the most prosperous. So not only are we going to let go of that having any power over us, we're going to take control of the script. You're going to write whatever it is that you're going to do. We're going to write it. Hey, Kaylee, if you can't make it today, will there be similar classes in the future? Kaylee, it's not. I play it by ear, but it's going to be like every Tuesday. Or I'm going to kind of block Tuesday out and tell you if, I can't make this Tuesday, and let's schedule around it. But Tuesdays is healing day. I do private one-on-one sessions too. And also the group sessions are very, very affordable when we do the healing. Sometimes you're the only, I can't guarantee, but sometimes you're the only one in a class that week. It's almost like a private one-on-one session. And the ones in there, you'll tell they're not going to go blab our business and everything. So you get a really good class out of it. We get every Tuesday. We'll do that one. A remote viewing class every Wednesday. Someone signs up. And so on. And then Friday, that's a one. Just the one for that one workshop. It's not going to be like an every Friday thing that we do it, unless you guys want to have some kind of a mentorship class as you're going, like every week for the next 52 weeks. We could do something like that and have a start and end date. For the next 52 weeks, we'll meet once a week and maybe check our 20-year plan the first year into it for a year. We could develop something like that. We'll see. Let's see. Hey, Michelle, the ones I saw grew up even when I got older, wearing long black hooded, old and raggedy looking clothes. Wow. How they look different. Thank you for sharing that, Michelle. I did not know anybody had that experience. Thank you for sharing your experience with us. And we've got hi Sherry. I very much enjoy the remote viewing class. Oh, thank you. You make it so easy and fun, having so much fun practicing. Oh, Sherry, I'm so glad you got a positive result from that, and that you don't feel like you just have to keep seeing me over and over and over. That's where these guys kind of get you caught, just keep draining you of money and all, and trying to keep you going back. When you come and see me the best that I can, I try to get you set up for success so that you can, here's this other situation, but the same steps apply. I can apply everything I learned with Kelly. I don't have to see Kelly again, and I can do it, and I can practice and all. So I'm so glad to hear that's working, that you're able to, and it's easy and fun for you, and that you're able to practice and do the activities on your own without me. And it doesn't feel like I'm guiding or leading you anywhere. I hope you don't feel that way. That it's just directed self-discovery, like, hey, look over there. It's like, oh my gosh, I didn't know over there existed. It's like, well, what am I supposed to do when I get over there? It's like, well, none of my business. I just wanted to show you it's over there. That's what I do in the remote viewing class. It's like, don't go over there to area 5,491. They're crazy people. Oh my gosh, like I don't do crap like that. No, it's like, hey, wherever you go, if you find a program, remove it and heal. I love you guys. I hope you have an absolutely fantastic day. And I will see you on Thursday. You'll see the promos for the Hat Man. And I've done a crap ton of research. This is so organized. I can't wait to see you on Thursday.
Realm of dreams where the stars align. Kelly Coffee takes you on a ride divine. In her God bubble we soar through the night. Exploring the universe, our vision takes flight. The symphony of galaxies fills the air. Come with me, let's ride on the cosmic breeze. With Kelly Coffee, we'll journey through galaxies. In love.